In the public arena, we often believe we are performing for an indifferent audience, that our small actions go unseen, our quiet words go unheard. The Stoics held a different, more piercing view. They understood the public sphere as a gymnasium for character, a place where every glance, every gesture, and every reaction is not merely a social act, but a test of one's philosophy. It is where the inner man reveals himself, often unconsciously, to the world. This is not about fear of judgment, but about the alignment of action with principle. It is about understanding that what you do when you believe you are unobserved is, in fact, the truest measure of your self-command. People notice far more than you credit them for. They sense insecurity, they detect hypocrisy, they feel the energy of a disordered mind. Your internal state has an external signature. For the next while, we will move through the crowded spaces of modern life, armed with the lens of Stoic philosophy. We will identify 9 critical breaches of public conduct, not as rules of etiquette, but as failures of inner discipline. Each is a crack in the facade of your character, an unnecessary surrender of your dignity and peace. By understanding and avoiding them, you do not learn to please the crowd. You learn to fortify yourself against the need for the crowd's approval entirely. Our guide, as ever, is the practical wisdom of the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, who reminded himself to behave as if a great man were always watching, Seneca, who wrote extensively on the tranquility that comes from consistency, and Epictetus, who taught that our miseries spring not from events, but from our judgments about them. Let us begin. 1. Never seek validation through complaint. In public, you may feel the urge to narrate your burdens, the inconvenience, the unfairness, the poor service. You dress your desire for sympathy in the clothes of casual conversation. The Stoic sees this as a profound leakage of power. When you complain, you accomplish 2 things. You announce to the world that you are at the mercy of external events, and you invite others to see you as a source of negative energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." This includes hardships. Suffer in silence, or better, do not call it suffering at all. Call it life, and meet it with quiet resilience. People notice the person who bears difficulty without needing to anoint others with the story of it. That silent strength is magnetic and commands a respect that complaints will never earn. 2. Never be drawn into the gossip of others. A group gathers, and the conversation turns to the absence of a third party. The details are shared, the judgment is passed, the bond is formed over a shared superiority. This is a trap. The Stoic knows that to engage in gossip is to pollute your own mind and to chain your character to pettiness. You become a person who trades in the currency of others' reputations. More than that, you teach everyone present that you are not to be trusted. As Epictetus would ask, if someone spoke about you in this way in your absence, would you consider them a friend? Your silence, or your gentle redirection of the conversation, "I wouldn't know about that, I prefer to speak directly to a person," marks you as different. It marks you as solid, as integrated, as a person whose worth is not built on the demolition of others. 3. Never display unmanaged emotion. This does not mean becoming a stone. It means that rage, hysterical laughter, panicked anxiety, or performative sorrow are seen for what they are, a loss of governance. In public, your emotions are not private. They affect the space and the people in it. The Stoic ideal is apatheia, not apathy, but freedom from being passively overcome by destructive passions. When you feel the surge of anger in traffic, or the flush of humiliation in a meeting, the practice is to pause. To create a space between the trigger and your response. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." That delay is where your character lives. The person who maintains a composed bearing in the face of provocation does not go unnoticed. They project a sense of unassailable inner order that is both intimidating and deeply respectable. 4. Never explain yourself unnecessarily. You are late. You made a choice. You have an unusual habit. The immediate, nervous impulse is to furnish an explanation, to preempt imagined judgment, to seek the absolution of others' understanding. This is a form of begging. You are begging for their approval of your actions. The Stoic owns their choices and their consequences. A simple, "my apologies," holds more dignity than a frantic tale of traffic and malfunctioning alarms that may or may not be believed. Your life, your reasoning, is your own. To constantly explain is to imply that your internal logic requires external validation to be legitimate. It broadcasts insecurity. Let your actions stand on their own. If an explanation is truly required for practical reasons, offer it once, clearly, and then fall silent. Your silence implies a mind at peace with its own decisions. 5. Never compete for status or attention. The subtle jockeying in conversation, the one-upping story, the name-dropping, the conspicuous display of knowledge or wealth. The Stoic understands this as the game of a child, playing with baubles. Your status is your character. Your attention should be on the content of the discussion, the truth of the matter, or the person you are with, not on how you are being perceived within the hierarchy of the moment. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, constantly reminded himself to strip away the title, the purple robe, and see himself as a man. When you cease to compete, you step out of the game. This confuses others at first, and then it elevates you. They sense you are operating on a different plane, where the prizes they seek hold no value. Your presence becomes grounded, substantive, and free of desperate energy. 6. Never neglect your appearance through carelessness. This is not vanity. It is respect, for yourself, for the occasion, and for those you meet. The Stoics were not ascetics who believed in filth. They believed in order. A disordered exterior is often a reflection of a disordered interior. Epictetus, though he owned little, maintained his simple cloak with care. To appear in public unkempt, slovenly, or deliberately offensive in your attire is to make a statement. And the statement is, I do not respect this space, these people, or myself enough to bring order to this one simple thing I control. It is an act of subtle defiance that people read as laziness or arrogance. Dressing with modest, appropriate neatness is a discipline. It signals self-respect and an understanding of your role in the social fabric. People grant authority to those who appear to have authority over themselves. 7. Never be unable to be alone in a crowd. Watch a public space. See the reflex to check the phone the moment a solitary moment appears. The fear of being seen as alone, of not being connected, of appearing without a purpose. The Stoic cultivates the ability to be comfortably solitary anywhere. To sit quietly, to observe, to be with your own thoughts without a prop. This is a sign of profound inner resource. When you are at peace in your own company in public, you project a wholeness that is rare. You tell the world you are not needy, not bored, not desperate for distraction. You are complete. This quiet self-containment is powerfully noticeable. It suggests depth, independence, and a mind that is engaged with reality, not escaping it. 8. Never mistake volume for conviction, or bluntness for honesty. The loudest person in the room is often the most insecure. The person who tells it like it is often simply indulging in a lack of tact. Stoic speech is measured, considered, and purposeful. Its goal is to communicate truth, not to discharge emotion or to dominate. Before you speak, consider, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Or is it merely a noise you are making to assert your presence? Uncontrolled volume is a sign of a mind that has lost its center. So-called brutal honesty is frequently just brutality, dressed in a virtue's costume. People notice and remember the person who speaks softly, clearly, and with weight. They instinctively trust them more. They also remember the person who causes needless hurt and mistake their cruelty for strength. 9. Never apologize for your existence or your standards. Do not couch your no in 100 weak justifications. Do not downplay your achievements with false modesty. Do not adjust your ethical boundaries because the group finds them inconvenient. This is the sum of all the previous points. The Stoic has a proverbial inner citadel, a set of principles that are non-negotiable. When you compromise them in public to fit in, to avoid awkwardness, or to be liked, you erode that citadel. Stand quietly but firmly in your truth. Refuse the drink, leave the unethical conversation, state your boundary without aggression or apology. People may be surprised. They may challenge you. But beneath that, they will notice the granite of your character. They will know, unequivocally, what you stand for. And in a world of shifting sands, that solid ground is the most noticeable thing of all. These 9 points are not a checklist for social approval. They are the external manifestations of an internal philosophy. Each avoidance is, in fact, an affirmation. By not complaining, you affirm your resilience. By not gossiping, you affirm your integrity. By not explaining, you affirm your self-ownership. In practicing this, you will discover a profound freedom. The anxious monitor that scans the room for reactions begins to quiet. You are no longer managing perceptions, you are living by principle. The notice of others becomes irrelevant because you are acting for the only audience that truly matters, the court of your own reason. As Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, it never ceases to amaze me, we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Let this year be the end of that amazement. Let your public life become a seamless expression of your private philosophy. Do not do these things not because people will see, but because in not doing them, you will finally see yourself, and respect what you see. Go into the world, not as a performer, but as a practitioner. Let your actions be so rooted in self-command that what people notice is not your mistakes, but your unwavering composure. Not your need, but your completeness. Not your noise, but your compelling, formidable silence.